I had been struggling in my mind for so long about what do we do about this Republican disinformation machine? What do we do about voter apathy? How can we build the Democrats as a brand and not have people just always focusing on this candidate or the other candidates? There's a big difference between these parties. Let's get it together here. We got to know this. So I thought, well, what if each precinct were to create leaflets that it took out and dropped on every doorstep within their precinct once a month with a message about the difference between the Democrats and Republicans at the state level and at the national level, but simple bullets. And the idea was that this is based on research that shows that when you repeat a message over and over, it's obviously more effective. And when you have a message that's delivered by a trusted source, it is more powerful. And neighbors, they're a trusted source. So we got 4 precincts in Durham County, North Carolina, to participate in a pilot. Now, there are 59 precincts within my,
Right.
but 4 of them decided to do this. That's a total of 4,000 doorsteps. And one thing to know about Durham County is in 2023, we had never in the history of the party ever had a full-time paid organizer, ever.
Yep.
And so we were all volunteers. This was a group of volunteers that started this leaflet writing. And there were 5 boomers and one 20-something. She taught us how to use a QR code, and she told us we had to put it on our leaflet. So this group was looking around for talking points, and I looked nationally. I know that we all did. We couldn't find a good source for this. And I want to say that one of the things we have to be doing is developing this, and it's way better now than it was a year ago. Okay, so we developed these leaflets,
Right.
and we dropped them. We had 6 of them uh, over 6-month period. And we had the first one was about gun violence. The next one was about reproductive freedom. And then we did public education and voting rights. And then the last 2 were before a municipal election. So we were focusing on you should go out and vote and why. Um, in my precinct, we had the first month, I had 21 volunteers. We had 17 walk routes.
Right.
And that was the gun violence one. And as we went on month by month, we would get more and more volunteers because we'd be walking around with these leaflets.
Leaflet.
We
Right.
could attract people and say, what do you do? Hey, will you come do this? So by the end of our period, we had in my precinct, we had 50 volunteers, and we then
Wow.
had 34 walk routes. And so they were smaller because we had more volunteers, more routes, smaller routes. And the average number of houses in my precinct was 30 that they dropped on. So it's not a big ask. In fact, this whole thing was so easy to sell because we were asking people to just walk down the street, drop a leaflet on all the doors, and we gave them 10 days to do it. We said, here's your leaflets. You have 10 days to do it. Please do it in 10 days. And they didn't have to do minivan, nothing like that. But what we asked them to do when they got their stack of leaflets and they got their walk route. And then we had a piece of paper that said, write down all the addresses that you skip and take a photo with your phone and send it into the precinct chair. And that allowed us to keep track of all the addresses that by by virtue of process of elimination, we knew exactly every doorstep that got a leaflet every time. That was all very simple. So we had a lot of people to do it. I have to say in 2024, we're doing things a little bit differently. We're not having, because our focus in 2024 is canvassing the target voters. And within my precinct, there are 250 that are on the target list of
Mm.
left leaning, but not always voting. And so what we're doing with our leaflets, we have one leaflet with a whole lot of topics on it, which it's great.
Right.
And I have to say, Felipe Benitez of Benitez Strategies did our Spanish translation this time, and it's rocking and it's really good. And so I'll put a link to our leaflets. Anybody can use it. And And so we're using it, we're going to leaflet every doorstep prior
Right.
to the canvassing, and then do the canvassing, and then leaflet again. And I just have to say, leafleting has become a thing now. We've
It's
built
a
a
thing. I
habit,
love it.
built trust, we built community, we built credibility. And I have to tell one quick thing,
Yes,
because I know
please.
we're running out of time,
No, no,
because
go ahead.
credibility of the Democratic Party in Durham went way up, because people saw we were doing stuff. And because of that, we did a fundraising campaign, and we raised enough money in the latter part of 2023 to hire the first time ever full-time organizer for our county party. And he started in January, and he's rocking and rolling, and we are totally going to rock 2024.